1,200 feet above the earth, on the edge of the cliff, I found something on Google Earth that almost didn't seem real. A giant zigzag of rectangular blocks extending out into space. On the last day of my trip, I set out to find that rock formation. And what I witnessed was incredible. Alright, good morning. This is our campsite for the night. Alright, we drove to the opposite side of this entire cliff. Took us about an hour last night, off-roaded a fair amount. And now we're at a totally new section. Oh, beautiful. I think this part of the cliff is more beautiful. Somehow what we're looking at is just much more green and lush. Before I got this thing, I didn't even know you could come up here and stand on the roof. It's got this T-track all around it. I'm probably gonna tie down my surfboards whenever I go somewhere like Baja or Vancouver Island. Kind of endless possibilities with this thing. Okay. Is that good? One day I'll do like a proper walkthrough of this entire setup and all the gear that I have. Right now it's not built out, but it's only gonna get better as I spend more time with it. This thing really is revolutionizing how I'm enjoying the outdoors and making videos in the process. If you are looking for a camper shell, make sure to go check out tuneoutdoor.com and go get yourself one. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Down before.
Alright, I see the spot I found on Google Earth. Right over there. I've been following sort of a maze of half-abandoned dirt roads. It's a beautiful day. Alright, let's see what this thing looks like. So on Google Earth, they really look like perfect, rectangles. But then you get out to them and they have a big sort of humpback on the top of them. Wow, look at the corners of these blocks coming up. If we could somehow find the perfect cube somewhere along this cliff, it would be incredible. I want to find the perfect cube so bad. It's just, the question is, does it even exist, you know? That actually might be a way to get down to the bottom. Wow. This is pretty wild. They're very, very rectangular. The scale of them is pretty immense. There's a bunch of swallows darting around the cliff. Huh. That could be pretty close. Look at that. Right at the end of the cliff. So obviously I'm not talking about that capstone on top of it. I'm talking about what's underneath. We got 100-foot tape measure, so you already know what time it is. Last time I used this thing was with a desert drifter on top of a giant block. RIP to the legend. Come on. Things are not looking good for my 100-foot tape measure. So what I have is I've got my 10-foot pole on the 360 cam. This corner of the rock is this one right here. And as you can imagine, it probably broke off whenever this thing shifted. You know, the edges are a little broken up, but if you took an average of this thing, say it would go down to here, I would say we're probably 2/3 of the way to the top. Stick ends right there. Lands on that black dot. Okay. It's a little bit short on that side. So I'd say this is about 21 feet. The other side we were looking at, probably closer to 20 feet. But let's measure this side. Just about perfectly 20 feet on this side. Obviously very imprecise, but we're doing the best with what we got right now. We're just measuring this one. We got 20 feet on that wall, 21 feet on the opposite wall, 20 feet on this wall, and now we're gonna measure this one. And we're gonna measure the weight of it correctly this time. 10 foot. I'd have to assume we're about 2 feet short. So this side looks to be 22 feet. So we got 20 foot, 20 foot, 21 foot, 22 feet. It's so close. To me, that seems like it's pretty close to being halfway up, or maybe a little bit more. We are so close to being a perfect cube. Can't lie, I'm a little disappointed. It's just a little bit long on one of the sides. If you took out that little bump that comes out on this bottom right corner, it would be pretty darn close. It's just a little bit warped. So upon inspection of the footage, I think the height is closer to 18 feet, but I measured the sides accurately at 20 and 22 feet. If we calculate the weight of this block, knowing that Navajo sandstone is roughly 135 pounds per cubic square foot, we can reasonably estimate this block is about 1.1 million pounds. It weighs more than a fully loaded Boeing 747, or about the weight of 14 fully loaded semi-trucks. When it inevitably topples off this cliff and falls 1,200 feet, it will land with an impact of 1.8 billion joules, or about the equivalent of a half-ton of explosives, or about the energy expended from a bunker buster missile. The search for the perfect cube is not over by any means. One day, I will come back here and I will find it. It's got to be somewhere on this cliff. And we came very close last time. All right, now we got to figure out how to get back up through this crack. This is going to be interesting. Big turkey vulture. As impossible as these rocks look, they're likely some of the most striking examples of natural jointing anywhere in the world. This is a recurring pattern in geology. It's worth remembering, the processes that shape this planet are stranger than anything humans could imagine, even in the wildest science fiction plots. In my mind, what occurs in nature is magic on the highest level. Look no further than the strangeness of life itself, on a giant molten rock, flying at 67,000 miles per hour through the vacuum of space. we can see tens of miles in every direction. All right, well, this place never ceases to amaze me. Even though we saw so much of it, there's still so many places I have yet to see here. I really do love this place. And if ever you do come here, you know, make sure to treat it with a lot of respect and leave the place better than you found it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down below. Leave a like, make sure you're subscribed, because I got a lot more stuff like this coming soon. As always, this is Nolan Fisher, aka the POV channel, and have a good rest of your day.